You ever pull up to your family's old cabin, peaceful lake, birds chirping, sun cutting through the trees, and find a cease and desist notice duct taped to your door with some fake county seal? Yeah, that's the moment I realized the HOA war had gone nuclear, and I hadn't even fired my shot yet. 6 years back, I inherited a rustic 6-bedroom lodge from my granddad. Thing sat on 5 acres out by Cedar Run Lake. Real old school, hand-built back in the 70s. Wooden beams, stone fireplace, creaky floorboards that whispered every childhood memory I had. My summers were fishing, hiking, watching storms roll in from the porch. It was sacred. When Grandpa passed, he left it to me. Didn't tell a soul, just wrote it in the will like a quiet rebellion. At first, I thought about selling. I lived 2 hours away in Portland, working long hours at a tech firm. But one weekend trip changed my mind. The smell of pine, the lake mist in the morning, that silence you can only get when the nearest neighbor's a deer. I was hooked. So I took out a loan, spent 8 brutal months renovating, and turned the place into a small vacation rental. Didn't make me rich, but it paid the mortgage, and then some. Guests loved it. Families, couples, the occasional writer looking for solitude. For 3 years, not a peep. Then came the invaders. Some hotshot developer bought the land next to mine and threw up a gated community called Silver Shores. Think giant glass mansions, infinity pools, guys named Chad. Within a year, they had an HOA with leather binders, gold letter bylaws, and of course, a sense of divine entitlement. I figured, hey, that's their world. I'll stay in mine. But no. They wanted my land, my lodge, my legacy. First shot came in the mail. Letter with a shiny logo saying, "Welcome to Silver Shores, HOA," and a bill for $1,200 in dues. I laughed. Then I read the fine print. They claimed that any property bordering the lake was automatically under their control. I called the number on the letter, and some overly cheerful woman named Brenda informed me, sweet as molasses, that I was now part of the community. I told her flat out, "Lady, my granddad built this place before you were born. I never signed anything. You have no jurisdiction here." She paused, then dropped the fake Southern charm and said, "Well, the county approved our charter. You don't really have a choice." Click. I called my lawyer, Chris. Smart guy, hates bullies. He confirmed I was in the clear. My land wasn't included in the plat. No signature, no obligation. He drafted a formal letter declining their invitation to play HOA make-believe. Sent it certified. I figured that would be that. It wasn't. 2 weeks later, another letter showed up. This time, I was in violation. According to them, my dock wasn't regulation, my exterior paint wasn't community neutral, and my vacation rental was commercial activity. A big no-no in their fantasy suburbia. Fines started piling up, $100 a day per violation. My inbox turned into a war zone. Then he showed up, Greg Whitmore, HOA president. Think tan skin, golf shirt tucked into khakis, Rolex flashing like a threat every time he moved his hand. He knocked one Saturday while I was prepping for weekend guests. I didn't know who he was yet. He introduced himself, said we should chat like gentlemen. I invited him in. He declined. "Porch will do," he said. We sat. He sipped from a branded water bottle and launched into his speech. "Look, Jake, your lawyer's letters, they're not necessary. We can work this out. Thing is, your property, it's kinda an eyesore compared to the rest of the neighborhood." I stared at him. "Eyesore? You mean the log cabin my granddad built? The one that's been here since before any of this existed?" He waved it off. "I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's not in line. And the rental business brings in folks who don't really match the lifestyle we're cultivating. That's when it hit me. This wasn't about rules, it was about class, about power. They didn't want peace, they wanted me out. I told him flat out, I'm licensed, zoned, my land's not yours, I don't owe you a dime. He leaned forward, smile gone. We have powerful people in our HOA, bankers, attorneys. We can make life difficult if you refuse to cooperate. That night, I didn't sleep. Not out of fear, out of rage. You don't threaten a man on his own porch and expect compliance. Over the next 2 months, they doubled down. Fake citations, guests being harassed at the lake. One guest said a board member told them they were trespassing on HOA land. Someone even filed a bogus health complaint. County showed up unannounced and left confused. I passed with flying colors. Then came the fake cease and desist order. Looked official, county seal, formal language. But something felt off. Chris confirmed it was forged. That was it. Line in the sand. I filed a harassment report. Had Chris send a cease and desist to them, and that's when they made their offer. Greg's lawyer sent a formal proposal. They'd stop harassing me if I converted my lodge into a hostel exclusively for HOA guests. I'd manage it, maintain it, do all the work. They'd keep 70% of the income. I laughed, out loud. Then I got angry. You want to run me off my own land, then ask me to serve your rich friends? But then, twist of fate, while researching their board members, I stumbled on a local article. Turns out the HOA was in the process of buying a lakeside retreat center on the other side of the water. 10 acres, 4 cabins, big event lodge. Their plan? Use it for HOA-only events, weddings, corporate getaways. Here's the kicker. It was a foreclosure. Bank-owned. HOA hadn't finished financing yet. Apparently their members were dragging feet on the special assessment fees. So I made a call. Turns out the bank was getting impatient. I toured the property the next day. It was stunning. Way bigger than my lodge, newly renovated, even had a private beach. I made a cash offer, 15% higher than the HOA's. Bank accepted in 48 hours. I didn't tell a soul. Just waited for the ink to dry. Then sent the deed to Greg's lawyer with a note. Please redirect your event planning accordingly. That night, Greg showed up again. Same porch. No smile this time. What kind of game is this? He barked. No game, I said, calm as ever. You tried to buy the future. I bought it first. Our members paid for that place. What do I tell them? I shrugged. Not my problem. But I've got a deal for you. I won't turn it into a direct competitor if you formally recognize that my lodge is outside your HOA. No more notices, no more threats. In return, I'll rent the retreat back to you for events at a fair rate. He called it extortion. I called it business. 2 weeks later, our lawyers signed a binding agreement. HOA would never again touch my property. I got paid directly for every event they booked at the retreat, and to seal the deal, we recorded the agreement with the county. Permanent. Greg? He resigned quietly. Word is, the members were livid. That center was supposed to be theirs. Now they pay me to use it. Every wedding, every party, every HOA leadership brunch, I send the invoice. I still run the lodge, too. Fully booked most seasons. I even added a fishing boat, my granddad's old vessel, restored and polished. I sit on the dock some nights, drink in hand, lights twinkling across the lake from all those houses that tried to push me out. Funny, right? They wanted me gone so bad. They made me the landlord. So tell me this. Who really owns the lake now?